Welcome everyone. My name is Upal Mitra. Currently, I am pursuing BTech in EC from MCKB Institute of Engineering. I am in second year, first semester. So today, our topic is electromagnetic radiation and its impact on bird diversity. I have done this project with my friend as well as batchmate Suman Maji under the supervision of our respected teacher, Mr. Somojit Ghorai. Here are the chapters that we will go through in this presentation. So let's start with the introduction. At first, let's understand what an electromagnetic radiation is. In simple words, an electromagnetic radiation is a radiation that has both electric and magnetic fields and it travels in waves. Here are some of the examples of electromagnetic radiation. It includes radio waves, microwaves, infrared light, visible light, ultraviolet light, X-rays, gamma rays. Electromagnetic radiation can also be called in short as EMR. There have been many researches all over the world to know if electromagnetic radiation really affects the environment or not. The review of the researches shows that the electromagnetic radiation are interfering with the biological system in more ways than one. We all know that in this digital era, the number of cell phone subscribers is rapidly increasing. As a result, the concentration level of electromagnetic waves is getting higher, clashing with the Earth's electromagnetic field. In this picture, we can see some useful information about electromagnetic radiation all over the world. The frequency of radiation from mobile towers ranges between 400 MHz and 3 GHz. Radiation from these towers may cause many health issues, such as headache, depression, high blood pressure, sleep disorders, etc. Over to you, Suman.
Very well explained, Paul. So now we will see how the radiation affects birds. The earliest reported study on impacts of microwave radiation on birds dates back to 1960s. As far as the effects of EMRs are concerned, the birds appear to be at greater risk because their ability to fly exposes them to a greater risk of direct damage. Scientists used the incubating avian egg as a model to study non-thermal effects of microwave exposure. Observed effects of exposure to non-ionizing radiation in avian species are mostly from radiation-induced temperature increases. Non-thermal levels of non-ionizing radiation can impact the birds physically. It can affect a bird's ability to recover from acute physiological stressors. It can also have some effect on their behavioral repercussions. A study was carried out by National Research Centre of Canada on the topic of interaction of electromagnetic fields and living systems with special reference to birds. In that study, it was observed that electromagnetic radiation can affect the stabilizing period of egg production of birds. Reproductive, coordination problems, and aggressive behavior have also been observed as the effects of EMR in birds, such as sparrows. General methodology used for such study was from each area, all sparrows were collected and their responses were tested against a low amount of electromagnetic radiation. In similar studies in India, population of house sparrows, scientifically known as Passer domesticus, was found fast disappearing from areas contaminated with electromagnetic waves arising out of increased number of cell phones. It happened in Bhopal, Nagpur, Jabalpur, Ujjain, Gwalior, Chhindwara, Indore, and Betur, etc. It was also observed that when 50 eggs of house sparrow exposed to electromagnetic radiation for durations of 5 minutes to 30 minutes, all the 50 embryos were found damaged. It was done in a study carried out by the Center for Environmental and Vocational Studies of Punjab University. 77% of these studies reviewed by Government of India and the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, shortly as MOEF, also reported about the impacts on birds due to long-term exposure to EMF radiation. As you can see in this diagram, 23% of the total studies did not reach any conclusion, but 77% cases implied that there was an impact of EMF radiation. Now, we will discuss about the most hyped technology at present situation. It's 5G. There are many misconceptions among people about this new technology. We will mainly talk about the two major misconceptions. One is 5G has bad effects on the health of birds and humans. Another is 5G spreads coronavirus. So come, let's see some practical facts. So it all started from a Facebook post by John Poulos, a Dutch UFO researcher who founded the Stop 5G Facebook group in 2018. Later, he became the most prominent backbone in the anti-5G movement. The anti-5G movement became stronger in November 2018. A Facebook post got viral for blaming a 5G test for the mysterious death of 297 birds in the Netherlands. Although later it was known that the 5G test actually took place months before the incident. Things got very weirder when Indian sci-fi blockbuster 2.0, we all know, released. The film, apart from being an example about how technology is ruining our lives, specifically depicts electromagnetic radiation from cell towers wiping out bird populations, validating the Facebook post. Now, Upal, please take over from here.
Thank you, Suman. So, was the news of 5G really fake? Let's check. It is true that several hundred birds and sparrows died in the head between 19 October and 3rd November of 2018. However, detailed research conducted by the Dutch Wildlife Health Center, Erasmus University, and Ghent University found that the death of birds was not caused by the 5G network, but most likely by poisoning. So it is clear that the incident had no relation with 5G. Dr. Eric van Rongen, a member of the Health Council of the Netherlands and the chairman of International Commission on Non-Ionization Radiation Protection, informed the only way one could imagine death of birds as a result of exposure to electromagnetic fields is with very high level exposure that results in considerable heating. But the levels that are used by mobile telecom antennas are not strong enough for this to happen. There are maybe millions of such antennas around the world, and this has never been reported. Therefore, the information which is shown in the movie 2.0 is not true and misleading. Now comes The another misconception, 5G spread coronavirus. Let's check this fact also. The rumors and conspiracy theories started to become viral mainly from several social media sites like TikTok, and a number of high profile celebrities also shared conspiracy theories about 5G on Instagram and Twitter. Now let's see why the news is fake. According to WHO, viruses cannot be transmitted by radio waves used by telecommunication devices. This has been confirmed by the fact that coronavirus is present even in countries that do not have 5G network. So it is evident that the news was also fake. So after all these facts and information, let's see what will happen if birds completely disappear from our environment. We know that birds play a critical role in reducing and maintaining populations of insects in natural systems. Birds eat up to 98% of birdworms and up to 40% of all non-outbreak insect species in eastern forests. If the population of birds decreases, the amount of insects will grow extremely high, creating a disbalance in nature. Changes in bird population are often the first indication of environmental problems. Whether ecosystems are managed for agricultural production, wildlife, water, or tourism, success can be measured by the health of birds. A decline in bird number tells us that we are damaging the environmental through habitat fragmentation, destruction, pollution, pesticides, introduced species, and many more impacts. Carrion birds like vultures, buzzards, condors, etc. play a vital role in carcass removal from environment. If their species become extinct, it will make the environment untidy. Additionally, birds are mobile links between systems and moving nutrients between different habitats over great distances. For example, fish-eating birds move nutrients in the form of fish from aquatic environments to drylands. This tremendous mobility makes birds extremely important in global nutrient cycling as well as local nutrient cycling. In this picture, we can see that there has been a continuous decreasing in the population of birds starting from the year 1970 to 2020. It is very unfortunate for our environment that we have lost 2.9 billion birds in 50 years. From here, I hand this over to Suman.
Thank you very much, Upal. So, here are the ways to save birds from EMF radiation. We should minimize the use of cell phones as much as we can in order to reduce the emission of electromagnetic radiation. We should also try to minimize the use of mobile internet to reduce the amount of radiation in the atmosphere. Prefer not to use mobile phones when the signal is weak, because during weak signals, the radiation becomes very strong to connect with a nearby mobile tower. The government should also implement strict rules to restrict the rate of electromagnetic radiation, such as they should observe the towers that emit extreme electromagnetic radiation beyond the set limit and take it down. And also limit the maximum number of the tower to be installed in a particular city. So finally, we have reached the conclusion of our topic. We have to understand that if now we do not address the bad effects of modern technology, then maybe the next victim will be humans. We know that We know that we are exposed to all these radiations, which are additive in nature. But this does not mean that we have to completely stop using these technologies. To reduce radiation exposure, we should reduce the duration of being around radiation sources. Keep distance from the radiation sources as much as possible. And one of the most effective solutions to avoid excess radiation is to use radiation shield. The mobile companies should accept that EMF radiation causes serious health problems. Only then people all over the world will carry out research to come out with solution. Finally, we have to understand that the technology may not be much harmful to our health. However, the excessive use of technology and reading of information that is not accurate are very much harmful to our health. So let's choose what you watch, listen to, and read. We would like to express our special thanks of gratitude to our teacher, Mr. Somojit Khore, for his vital support, guidance, and encouragement, without which this project would not have been possible, and for giving us the golden opportunity to do this wonderful project on the topic electromagnetic radiation and its impact on bird diversity, which also helped us in doing a lot of research, and we came to know about so many new things. Here are the resources from which we took help for making this presentation. The software we used for this presentation is Microsoft PowerPoint. Finally, here we finish our presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, very good presentation. And any questions from student side? Acha, I have one question. What is radiation shield?
Radiation shield means physical barriers that reduces the effect of electromagnetic radiation. For example, lead is because lead is heavier than the other materials, many other materials. It is usually used as the radiation shield, like lead sleeves, lead glass, etc.
How can you use radiation shield?
Like in the factories where electromagnetic radiation is more used, the workers can use lead sleeves, and in current market there are many
So there are so many electromagnetic radiations. There are so many electromagnetic radiation, but which electromagnetic radiation is more harmful for the birds?
which electromagnetic radiation is more harmful for the birds. Oh, it is the ionizing radiation, because the ionizing radiation can directly affect our cells in the body.
Okay, okay, okay.